Hey everyone, welcome to a Planetary Diary, the making of a fan series. Hey everyone, tonight I'm going to be introducing you to the director of A Planetary Step, our fan series. This gentleman here has paid his way through different levels of fandom, from science fiction to comic books to anime. I've known him for well over 20 years, and I couldn't think of anyone better who I would ask to be the director of our series. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only Jason Richardson. How you doing today, Jason?
I'm doing all right, chilling.
All right,
Here
all
with
right.
you.
So, Jason, for the audience that don't know, you've been doing a lot for the last 20 years, paying the way within the world of fandom, from anime and everything else under the sun. Why don't you give the audience a little background information about yourself, the things that you've accomplished in the last 20 years, and going forward as well?
Before I even started J1 Studios, I was, a kid. I actually was making computer games on like old school systems. Back then it wasn't old school, but it is now. I was making computer games and like sports games, action games, all that stuff. And then I would I would sell the games to like the neighborhood, teachers, friends, everybody around town. And then I made a subscription magazine so that people could buy the subscription so they could get like, tips and tricks on how to beat all these different games. Because I had games of all genres. From there, I started the company J1 Studios after, I think in 2006, yeah. And with that, I created my mascot, Super Brownie J1. Actually made a comic. Then after that, I introduced Angel Savior, another graphic novel series that, was under the J1 Studios name. I've worked on a bunch of other projects and, I created a music festival in Philadelphia. I also created an anime and gaming convention that I now moved to Atlantic City in New Jersey. And I've been on the radio of like WHYY. I was part of a radio show, Black Tribbles, and I did so many different things. Won awesome awards, like Geek of the Year. That's crazy. There was a thing, it was like the Oscars for geek culture. So you had like Game of the Year, Comic of the Year, all that stuff. I walked away with Streaming Media of the Year and with the big one, Geek of the Year. Now I've expanded and, created so many different things. One of the accolades outside of awards was I got to be an entry in the Encyclopedia of Black Comics. And you can find this everywhere. It's a national, internationally, like you can get this encyclopedia anywhere. And it's an encyclopedia about all the different influential Black people in the comic book industry. And I'm an entry.
So, Jason, also, before we get into more of your career, one of the other things that we're going to mention now, I need to mention, is also you've done commercials, like for Cartoon Network for your J1Con show. Am I correct?
Yes. Every year we have a live action cosplay themed commercial for J1Con, my anime and gaming convention. And it airs on Cartoon Network. And if you've seen any of those or other ads in like the East Coast for like resorts and stuff, you've heard my voice because I do the narration for it, as well as shoot it. I'm the director behind the commercials, and I love all this stuff. Doing all this media stuff, and then I have a few new ventures.
One of the things that everyone's been talking about, besides everything that you've accomplished, that's VT Heroes. Can you tell the audience more about what the VT Heroes is about? Because that's been the thing on everyone's like breath. VT Heroes. I hear it, when I go to the comic book stores. I hear it through like different, places and all. Everyone's talking about VT Heroes. Can you let the audience know more about what VT Heroes is about?
VT Heroes is a deck building fighting card game, and it is in the theme of tokusatsu or sentai. And if you don't understand what that is, think Ultraman, Power Rangers, that kind of vibe. And it's a fun, fast-paced, one-on-one fighting game, but in card format.
So when can people see more of it? Like the people that want to be interested in, participating or buying the game, like what can they do? How can they go about doing it?
You can just go right on Instagram and check out VT Heroes, and you'll see all the cool stuff that's being put together for it. I mean, we have little collectible helmets. We will have more live action commercials. And actually, there's so many cool things going on with that. We're going to have an online store where you can buy not only the card game, but fun clothing and accessories.
So now that we got a chance to see what VT Heroes is about, can you tell the audience what what was the driven factor that made you want to direct a Planetary Step, let alone Orville series like this? What was it that motivated you to want to become art director?
Actually, you and I, we've worked on many projects before. You've helped me out with my Cartoon Network commercials, and we've had a rapport for well over 20 years. We've been good friends and industry friends, and I saw that you had a great vision for it, and I wanted to be a part of it. Then you offered the spot to me, and I jumped right on it because I was like, why not? This is great. And because you know that I've directed before, so you trust me, I trust you. We worked it all out, and then we made something awesome.
So moving forward, where do you see our series going? For the audience that may want to know some inside stuff, how do you see our series, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, I don't want to reveal anything, but I will be the main director for the series. There will be other directors that'll come in and, do special segments and special spots and all that. But I want to give it a semi-cinematic, but it's still TV, but it's still fun. I just want to I have a lot of cool ideas and the cool techniques that I want to put in there. Plus, we have such a great crew, for the production of it, that I am just my mind is racing all the time on what I can do. Like, whenever I see a script, I'm like, oh yeah, we should. And I'm like, all right, let me calm down. Let me make sure I focus, and knock out the other parts. And I'm setting up in my mind and preparing for every episode as I go over the script with you and with Brian and everyone involved. And I talk to our behind the scenes team to see what can be done with what we do, because we're not a huge production or anything like that. We're still we're fans who want to show love to the series and the fandom as a whole.
People that want to find you, VT Heroes, or anything else that you have accomplished and done, where can they follow you at? Where can they check you out?
If you want to find out more about what I'm doing, what projects I'm working on, you can always look up on Instagram under official J1 Studios. You can also find J1 Con under just J1 Con on Instagram. And if you want to find out more about VT Heroes, then you should check out on Instagram, VT Heroes.
So Jason, I want to thank you for coming on, letting the audience know more about you. And I know there's going to be a lot more to talk about. We got upcoming things coming out, and we're going to be sharing with the fans more and everything else. So I want to thank you for coming on. And also thank you to all the fans that are tuning in. And again, we couldn't have done it without you guys. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. There's going to be more episodes coming up for A Planetary Diary. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, share with your family, share with your friends, and help spread the word, because again, this is all for the love of the Orville. And we're working really hard to put out some really good material while we're waiting for a new season of the Orville to return. Until then, tune in next week, and I'll see you then.